sumo fans, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is time for the final Grand Sumo Tournament of 2024, the November Basho, which happens down in the lower island of the four main islands of Japan named Kyushu in the town of Fukuoka. And I look forward to this Basho every year. It's a little more laid back. I love the city of Fukuoka, the food and the people. The weather is usually wonderful this time of year in November, and I try my best to go every year. This year I wasn't planning on it. I spent a lot of money going home to America this past summer, so I was going to kind of pass. But a fan of the channel named Spencer reached out and said, "Hey, I have an extra ticket for Saturday, day 14. Do you want to come?" And we're gonna hang out together and watch sumo. So it's great. So I got my hotel room. I got to go out and buy my bullet train tickets. Still going to cost me money, obviously, to go. But the other great thing about it is I need to restock on sumo goods, get the calendars and all the fun stuff that comes out at the end of the year for you guys to give away as prizes in the contest, etc. So I'm really happy. And my friend Brian lives down there, and I really only get to see him. He's a family man with two kids, and he doesn't have a lot of time to come up to where I am. So I really only get to see him and hang out with him. When I head down to Fukuoka every November. So we're going to hang out. And how is that going to affect the channel? Well, let's share right away and get started here. So as you can see, it starts on November 10th, Sunday, which is a week from now. I'm filming this on Sunday, November 3rd. Of course, the contest will open up. You'll have a week to enter the contest if you want to do the channel contest. And it concludes on Sunday, the 24th. I'm going and watching sumo on Saturday, the 23rd, which is, as I said, day 14. So I won't have any coverage of day 14, although I might have highlights. I can set my DVR to record highlights, while I'm gone, and I might be able to put those up on the channel. I might also not have anything for Friday, day 13, the 22nd, because I'm traveling down Friday night. I hope to get to my hotel room in time to watch it live around 5 p.m., but I don't know if I'll be able to record, etc. So, yeah, those 2 days I might not have any coverage on the Patreon channel. I'll still try to do the sumo summary at night. That I can record. That's just me. I'll sit in my hotel room and figure that out. And then, of course, I'm going to take the bullet train back on Sunday morning, the 24th, and be home in time to obviously have full coverage of day 15 for you on Patreon. And the Patreon has been doing good. In September, I added up 29 and 32 and 42 out of my collections here, days 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through, and that's 103 videos I posted, which is amazing because it's not planned or anything, but it's the exact same amount that I posted in July. So you're getting 100 videos for a basho for $1. So I feel like that's a good deal. A penny a video, as we would say in American money. So go over to Patreon. Uh, you can join, and there's tiers. Where's the tiers? I don't think I can see the tiers as the creator. But yeah, then I put them into collections, and this one I was able to, since I did it all together, was able to say, hey, if you just want to watch this old bus show, it's $3. I don't feel comfortable charging $3 for each of these, and that's the lowest Patreon will allow me to offer them for non-members. But if you sign up for the dollar a month, you can watch as many as you want. So I feel like that's the good way to go. And of course, over in the community section, I will start a tab soon with predict the winner. Oops, why did it not click through? Come on. There we go. And we'll do predict the winner. And we have some good discussion over here, and we'll have discussions for the sumo as it goes along. So head on over there and join up. Okay, let me stop sharing for a second. Hi. So, yeah, so we're going to jump into the Bonds-K. Fred sent out his wonderful chart. We'll talk about who's where, who's showing up, who's not showing up, what to expect. And I did get the brand new shirt. It sits. I would have moved this up a little higher, maybe to about here. It sits a little low, but there it is. This is my idea, Tokyo, Osaka. It's that, famous, John Paul George Ringo design or whatever it is with all the things. And on the back, can you see it if I turn all the way around? It's the map of Japan with all the basho listed. I don't know if that came out, but there we go. So that's Fred's idea. Fred Pink, yay Fred, and me, and we combined, we made this shirt. So yeah. So if you're interested, this is really comfortable too. For a 5XL, I'm a big guy. It's really not clingy at all. It's a nice shirt, so I'm really happy. I like to buy my own merch from time to time and make sure that it's decent quality. So that is over here at my shirt shop on Teespring, and lots of here's the design. Now, if you get it in the lighter color, the map on the back is white and it kind of sticks out a little bit. I'm still debating whether I should get a hoodie. I kind of like it. And then I like this design too. This is Fred's design, but I went with the black, which is on this page, and the map kind of blends in much better. You can even get a sticker. I bought this sticker. Um, it's super small though. Can you see it? This is on the back of my iPad. So yeah, it's not very big. You got a mug, and then some of my older designs, the Sumo Yokozuna design, Zen Zen Wakata Nai. This is the one I really want, guys. I think this is really cool. Now, I mean, none of you would probably think this is as cool as I do, but my little channel logo on a zipper hoodie, but they only go up to 3XL, and that would be too small for me. So that's just a bummer. That's the one I would buy right now for winter coming up if I could, but yeah, just not in my size. So what else we got? Binder. We got the old style shirt. We got Jason Peace, which a viewer made for me, and then random other stuff from Poochie still up here. Tote bags and channel logos. Even got still some masks up there. So I will put up a code, and it'll be down in the description, and it'll be NOV 2024, November 2024, 10% off. If anything, if you want to buy it as a gift or for yourself, go by the shop. Obviously, it helps the channel out. I still love this design. I have this on green, and it's such, this is available in 5XL, and there's all kinds of colors. This is the color I chose. And then on the back, it just has a very subtle Jason's All Sumo channel, and Pucci, the woman in Spain that designed that kind of very cool little graphic here on the front of the shirt. So there's that. Okay, so let's jump over to Fred's chart and see where we're at here in the Banzuke for November. Obviously, Terunofuji is the big question mark. I've been seeing some other videos that saying that he has been at the regional tour, but then he pulls out and he's not really training hard. There's no huge incentive for him to show up in November, and I think he hasn't shown up in November the last three tournaments, or at least twice. I think 2021 was the last time he was in Fukuoka. So it is just a big question mark. We just won't know until day one whether he's going to show up or not. And he might just wait until 2025 when it's back in Tokyo in January. But we have three Ozeki, we have Kotozakura, we have Hoshoru, both underwhelming in September. And then, of course, we have our new boy, the Yusho champion, Sekewake, with a 13-2 Onosato getting promoted, now in Ozeki. And already has won two Yusho. He's won more Yusho than Hoshoru, two more than Kotozakura. That's kind of crazy. Kirishima back at Sekewake. Well, he was Sekewake. So some people are saying, okay, he had a 12-3. He had 8 here in July, so that's 20. If he gets 13 here in November, he could be an Ozeki again. That's a tall order. I think he'd have to get 13 or 14 wins, but it's possible. Daisho is the other Sekewake getting promoted up from Komusubi, and Wakamoto Haru jumping up to Komusubi pretty far from M3, but he had an 11-4. Shodai, the other same thing, M4 with a 10-5. jumping up to Komusubi, leapfrogging over Oho, who was M2 with a 9 and 6. He has to settle for M1. Hirada Umi falling from Komusubi down to M1. Wakataka Kage moving up quite a bit from M7 with that nice 12 and 3 all the way up to M2. Ura with his 9 and 6 moving up from M5 to M2. So those are the big movements. And a big down, of course, is Sekewake Abi, who went 5 and 10 in September and is now down at M3. But you can never count him out. He's always a fierce competitor. And of course, Taki Keisho here retired. So the former Ozeki was down at Sekewake, couldn't get wins to bounce back up after getting a 5 and 10 when he was Kadoban, and so he retired. So we won't see his name anymore. Tommy Fuji's slightly down from M2 to M3. Chirana Umi takes a big leap up with a 10 and 5. Oshoma, and a really nice big leap up from M9 to M4. Tobizaru going down from M1 to M5 because he was basically not in most of the tournament. Well, no, I'm sorry, not Tobizaru. Who was I thinking of? Takayasu. Tobizaru, actually, I'm sorry, he went 5 and 10, just had a bad September. Goes down to M5. Koto Shoho, Takanosho, Nishikigi Endo. Roga making a pretty big move with only an 8 and 7 going from M10 to M8. Matake Yumi, the former Ozeki with 3 Yusho under his belt. Look at that. Uh, Down from M3 down to M7. So that's a pretty big drop. Gonoyama, Midori Fuji, Takayasu there. Sorry, Takayasu, I misspoke. He had a 10 and 5. He goes way up from M15 to M9 into single digit Maegashira. Ichi Yamamoto at M10, Takada Fuji, Tamawashi with 2 Yusho under his belt. Just missed it. Got a 7 and 8, so he goes down 1 rank to M11. Meisei falls down quite a bit from M6 to M11. Hokuto Fuji slight rise. Sadano Umi, Ryuden goes up a little bit. Shonana Umi takes a big fall from M5 down to M13 because of his 3 and 12. And then we have some of the guys coming up. Chiyoshoma, of course, has been in the top division before, so he's a returnee at M14 East. Nishiki Fuji finally gets a record. This 6 and 9 when they let him stay at M17 is still incredible to me. But he got an 8 and 7, so he goes up to M14. Onokatsu making his debut. Couldn't quite get Kachikoshi in his debut. Went 7 and 8, so they actually only demoted him 1 rank to M15. Here are the other 4 new guys from Juryo. Toki Hayate, who's been here before. Shishi making his debut. Takeda Fuji, of course, been here before. And Asakoru making his debut. And at the very bottom is Bushozan, who went 4 and 11 at M12 and hung on to M17 to stay in the top division. So who went down to Juryo? Kageyaki, Kim Bozan, Shirokuma, the polar bear, and Kitsunowaka. Those are the 4 guys that got demoted down to make room, as well as Takakeisho's retirement. So we had 5 guys up from Juryo for the November tournament. And there are the men you can choose from for the contest. So if we jump over to the contest real quick, where is that? Here we go. So again, the tiebreaker is who do you think will be the first Makiuchi Rikishi to get his Kachikoshi, his winning record? Put in your email, your name. Please keep it under 20 characters so it fits in the form well. Got to pick one guy out of this group, and really, most of you shouldn't pick Teruno Fuji. You can change if you find out on day 1 that he's there and you want to pick him, then feel free to go in and edit your entry. But I would pick one of the 3 Ozeki there. Then you've got Komusubi and Sekewake, 4 choices there. M1 to M4, pretty talented group there. That's going to be an interesting pick. I'm guessing a lot of Ura and Wakataka Kage picks there. M5 to M8. Then you've got M9 to M12. And that's another tough group, I think. And then the final group, do you go with somebody like Takeda Fuji, who if he's fit, should dominate? Or do you go with one of the new guys, thinking they're going to have a good tournament? So very interesting. And then here's a drop down of every single person, and you pick one of them as the tiebreaker question. All right. So the contest will open today with the link, and I will close it on Monday, November 11th. 11/11, Taki Day, as we say here in Japan. And you uh I always let you see day one action and see who's shown up and who hasn't shown up if you want to edit your entry at all. So feel free to enter that. Prizes as always from Big Sumo fan. Jeff has just been really great at buysumotickets.com. He has offered that Tegata prize, I think, every basho this year. And it is a wonderful prize. So the person that comes in first always jumps on that. It's quite a valuable prize, and as I showed on camera one time, he packages it and mails it so well, and it really looks great hanging on your wall if you're a sumo fan. That's the handprint with signed by the wrestler, and it's actual one. It's not a reproduction or a copy like they sell at the souvenir booths. This is a real one. If you get a Yokozuna no Nozeki, it comes with the stamps, all that kind of stuff. So thank you to Jeff. I'm going to hang out with Jeff, actually. We're going to meet up on Saturday in Fukuoka. We're going to go out for dinner after the day's events of day 14, along with Spencer. So that'll be great to see him. Uh, and yeah, and as always, if you live in a place and you don't want me to mail you anything, uh, we can always do kind of an Amazon gift card or Big Sumo fan gift card or something like that. I just had one person that won in September finally get back to me, Joel. Thank you, Joel. There's still one other person, and then one random Patreon person, and they just don't respond. So I can't send you a free thing if you don't get back to me. It's a shame because I do enjoy sending them out and spreading the sumo love. But you gotta meet me halfway, right? Um, okay, so let's share and see what else we got going on. Okay. So for the first time, you guys know me, right? I rarely have ever taken a sponsor. People reach out to me all the time, and it's just lame. They're lame companies, or they just see my numbers on YouTube and they send me these automated emails. But these people at Path of Cha reached out to me with a really nice offer and a great prize that I'm going to give away. And so I made a short video. I'm actually going to do some editing. Can you believe it? And I'm going to insert it here. It's 4 minutes of me chatting about Path of Cha. So please watch and check out this month's sponsor. They're going to sponsor the entire Basho, and I'll be mentioning them and replaying this video at the end of the sumo summary each day. So check it out. Here it comes. Hey everyone, I wanted to interrupt the video for just a minute to tell you about our sponsor, the channel sponsor for this basho, the November Basho, and it's a great company that I've just been introduced to called Path of Cha. Cha, you probably know, is the one of the words you can use for tea, and there's a lot of bottled tea that I drink here in Japan. But this is loose tea that you can use, and I'm kind of deciding I want to try to brew my own tea and experience new flavors, maybe come up with a combination that works for me, that is most delicious for me. And so I want to share their website and just tell you a little bit about them really quick. So let's jump in. So they have a lot of different types of tea. A lot of you are probably familiar with the traditional green tea in Japan, matcha. They also have the oolong teas. They have Chinese teas. They have gongfu cha, which is a Chinese style of brewing. They have sencha do, which is a Japanese style using loose tea. So most of you are probably familiar with seeing scenes of a tea ceremony, and that's chan no yu, where they whisk and they make the matcha, the green tea, and it's a little bitter, but some people really enjoy it, and the ceremony is amazing if you can go to one when you visit here. And they have teas for that. And they also have all kinds of teaware, all kinds of pots and cups and other things. They would make wonderful gifts if you wanted to give them. One of the cool things about their teas is the way they source them. They come straight from the farmers they actually know. You can taste the difference, I think, in the stuff I've tried so far. The flavors are very layered and complex. You get a really good full aroma when you brew, a good long finish, and they kind of give you energy, right? There's this kind of chi that you get from it. You feel good, you feel balanced, you feel energized. So if you want to try something that's a little different, I highly recommend you checking them out. I'm going to put a link down in the description. If you're unsure about tea, they have all kinds of great stuff on the website. All this in Tea 101, how to brew a good cup of tea. And you can click on that and it tells you all the steps you need to take. They have all kinds of other things you can get. They have a blog which they update all the time. Look at all these recent articles in 2024 where they interview people. Like I said, lots of teaware, teapots, and cups, and all kinds of things. And then, of course, the actual tea. So, as a prize, they are giving away 100 grams of this fantastic oolong tea from China. I'm sorry, from Taiwan. I should say Taiwan, I guess. $38 value for 100 grams, sorry, at 38 cents a gram. So it makes this very clear tea. And so you can brew your own tea. And if you're interested in that, uh, by all means, check it out. And if you do, for the November Basho, if you do buy anything through my link, just send me an email. Say, hey, Jason, I took your advice and I bought something. And then you'll be entered in the giveaway for that pack of oolong tea, $38 value. So anybody, you just send me an email, put Path of Cha maybe in the subject line, and we'll get that on its way to you. And they have some free shipping offers. I think if you sign up for their newsletter, you can get 10% off. So lots of great incentives for first-time customers. Let me know what you think. Let me hear your feedback. It's great to have a sponsor for the channel, so I really appreciate them working with me. And enjoy some great tea, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, well, thanks for watching that, and I hope you do go and try some of their products. I'm really a big fan, and let me know. Absolutely, send me feedback what you think of the tea and the experience and buying with them, etc. Uh, so I have a good idea if I'm working with a great company like I think I am. Okay, what else should I share with you? Hi. Oh, I was looking at Tachi, and they if you go just to the main page, they're running down the Bonzacay, and of course they have all kinds of fun articles. And I was just my mouse, and I hit interviews here, and I was like, oh, Murray Johnson, yeah, I remember when they interviewed him. And then I went, hey, Jason Harris, that's me. And this is an interview I did with them back in 2018. So a lot of you ask me questions, especially if you're newer to the channel. How did you get into sumo? How did you start this channel? So here is a thing, and it's 6 years ago now, believe it or not. But here it is. A question I get a lot is, why are you so interested in sumo? And I give my answer. And yeah, so there's hopefully these links, some of these links might be dead if they're from my old channel. But anyway, uh, yeah, if you want to read a little bit about me, there you go. And I think there's a part one and a part two. So here's part two, and you can know a little bit more. Maybe it'll answer some of your FAQ type questions about me and the channel. And they have other interviews with John Gunning and Kintamiyama, Murray. So it's great to be amongst that company. The Bonsuke topics over here on the official site. Let's see if we have anything interesting. So making his debut, of course, at Ozeki is Onosato. Will he become the next Yokozuna? That's a big question a lot of people are asking. Oh, I have to tell you this funny story. So every year I take my 10th graders to Shimane-ken, where I used to live, where I started, which is why Okonomi. Sorry, I'm cutting off his head. There he is. Um, the Oki Islands are part of Shimane-ken. And there's a very famous shrine in the town that I used to live in called Izumo. It's called Izumo Taisha Shrine. It's like the second most important Shinto shrine, the native religion of Japan, in all of Japan. Um, it gets huge amounts of visitors every New Year when Japanese people traditionally go and visit a local shrine. It's called Hatsumode. You go and you visit your local shrine January 1, 2, or 3. It's like their New Year's celebration, along with other things like eating special meals and things like that. And I think they get 1 million people over the course of like 3 days, supposedly, at this shrine, which normally, it's in a tiny town of like 16,000 people, which is where I used to live, very much in the countryside of a very countryside agricultural prefecture, Shimane. The whole total population of Shimane is less than 1 million people. Um, so I drive out there with my students from where we are at my school. It takes us a while to get there, but we go there. We go up to the lighthouse, which is one of the biggest, tallest lighthouses in East Asia. And we go to another smaller shrine that's really fun. And, we spend about 5 hours. We have a picnic lunch, and then we have to drive back. So we do it all in a day. So we were getting off the bus and walking up the main road to the big torii gate that signifies the start of a Shinto shrine. And obviously, I'm a big, tall, white guy, and I'm walking with a gaggle of, I think there was 16 students that day, kind of in tow, and we're walking up, and a fairly tall other white guy kind of comes up beside me, and he's just strikes up a conversation. Oh, are you a teacher? And I went, oh yeah, yeah, these are my students. We're heading up to the shrine. Oh, really cool. So you teach them English? And I go, actually, no, I teach history, and we're going to learn about Japanese culture today. And I'm from Hiroshima, Ken. And so he looked at me and he goes, are you Jason? And I was like, yeah, I am. And then all my students, because they can all understand English. Well, most of them could that were there with me that day. They're all like, hey, like, how does he know you, Mr. Harris? And then he goes, yeah, I'm a fan of your sumo channel. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, sure, and so we shook hands, and I'm terrible with names. His name is either Roy or Ray. If you're watching this, thank you. Send me the picture that you took of us. We took a selfie, and my students were just like, wow, Mr. Harris, you're famous. And so it's just a fun little giggle at the beginning of the day that I got recognized on a random Tuesday in Shimane Ken with my students. But it was really nice to meet him, and we chatted for a little bit more, and then he went on his way, and I, took my kids on the tour. Um, so we had a great day that day. It's such a fun day to go and walk them around. Most of them have never been there. It's hard to get to Shimane, unfortunately. It doesn't have a bullet train, and there's no even good train from where we live to there. We have to take a school bus and hire a driver for the day and all that kind of stuff. But that was fun, just to be recognized, and my kids were duly impressed with my internet status. So there you go. Okay, last shares. Anything else? We were doing the topics. So Onosato, so you can read about him. Only 9 tournaments since his professional debut. He now holds the record for the fastest promotion since World War II in sumo. Uh, so he is the 11th Rishi who's been promoted from this famous university that does sumo. And he's also the fastest tournament since his Makiuchi debut to get to Ozeki since World War II. So it's just insane how quickly he's achieved this great status. Uh, Daisho is returning to Sekewake. Wakamoto Haru's back at Komusubi. Shodai, of course, is a former Ozeki, so him returning to Komusubi is no big shakes. But making his debut is Shishi from Ukraine. And he is the first Ukrainian-born Rikishi to reach Makuuchi, so congratulations to him. We have another guy coming up that I'll mention in a minute in Juryo. Asakoryu making his debut. So that's great for him. Returning Chiyoshima, Toki Hayate, and Takeda Fuji. Of course, Takeda Fuji's also won a championship. Here is the other Ukrainian. He's the second Ukrainian to reach Juryo, obviously after Shishi, and he only took 7 tournaments to reach Juryo, tying for 5th place as far as speed from when they start sumo to getting to Juryo, the second tier division. Ao Nishiki So I want to keep an eye on him. Waka Ikari is another name I've been hearing about, so I want to see how he's going to do. And then we've got some guys returning up to Juryo. Five guys coming into Juryo. No, six. Wow, that's a big chunk. Here's like the fastest speed to Ozeki. And you can check out these charts over on the main English language version of the official website. Way faster. Atami Fuji. No, Azuma Fuji. I was gonna say Atami Fuji hasn't become an Ozeki. Oh, that was back in the 40s. Taiho, of course, a great Yokozuna. Teruno Fuji is in there. Koto Oshu, the great Bulgarian Ozeki. So there you go. Speed of promotion to Juryo. Enho is another guy that did it. We'll see where he is this tournament. Bunch of guys have eight, but he did it in seven. All right, let's look at the. Oh, we don't want to go to matches and results. They haven't posted any matches and results yet. Juryo. All right, so Hakuoho up at J2. That's a good jumping off point for him to get back in the top division in January. Shirokuma got demoted down, is at J3. He can jump back if he has a good tournament. Who else is down here? Tsurugisho, Fujiseun, Onosho. There is the man from the Ukraine. Uh, some of the other new guys, Nabatame, some people are saying I should keep an eye on. So yeah, I'll enjoy some Juryo matches as much as I can. And then Asanoyama is listed at MS1, but he won't be competing in November. I've heard he's not going to try to compete again until March. So this is just a placeholder, and he'll be one of the guys pulling out on day one. Aqua. Some of these names you guys will know from their time in the higher divisions. Let's see if we can find Enho. Let's jump. Let's do it this way. Go to his stable. Okay, there he is. He's at Sandamne 56. So that's the fourth tier division. Uh, in the lower part. So, but he can jump way up. And there's all the wrestlers in Terunofuji's stable, the Yokozuna, and where they are this tournament. So Takeda Fuji jumping back up, Hakuoho could be up there. So we could have seven guys from that one stable in the top division in January. Okay, let's see. So we talked about the contest, we talked about the Bonsuke, we talked about Patreon shirts, the interview, and we talked about the sponsors. So I think we've done everything we need to do. Um, yeah, I'll be here on Sunday the 10th with day one coverage. You gotta, if you haven't watched in a while, you gotta go over to Patreon. That's where the match coverage is. And then every night I kind of do a little 20-minute or so summary show of that day's action with spoilers, who won, who lost, who's slated to fight each other the next day. And that stays here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, join the contest. All the links you need, everything down in the description. So check that out. And I hope you're going to have a wonderful November. I think it's going to. Would somebody tell me when is Thanksgiving this year? My calendar right here is Japanese. So is Thanksgiving the 21st or the 28th? If it's the 28th, it's after sumo, right? If it's the 21st, then it'll be that final weekend of sumo will be Thanksgiving weekend, and maybe you'll have some free time to watch it live. NHK will show some of it live on probably day one, day 8, and day 15. Uh, so yeah, just let me know. And if you're in another part of the world and you don't do Thanksgiving, like we don't do it here in Japan, we actually have a holiday called Labor Thanksgiving Day, but it's not, like it is in the United States. And it's on a Saturday this year. So we don't really benefit from a day off from it at all, unfortunately. So, yep. But I guess unless you have to work normally on a Saturday and your business closes. But, like retail here, it's just like in the States, like McDonald's, the supermarkets, the Combini, they all stay open on national holidays. I guess it would be mostly like banks and post office and things that would normally be open on a Saturday will probably be closed. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Love the new shirt, and hopefully a lot of you will join the contest. We can have some fun rooting for your team of Rikshi. Check out the sponsor, Path of Cha. Thanks to them. And I will see you in a week. Okay, take care. Peace.